A snack, girl. I'm finna serve y'all a whole buffet, okay? What's going on, y'all? It's time for another Kingeries TV video. Let's talk about, oh my gosh, I'm excited. I know y'all enjoying y'all day. I know y'all around here. Somebody at work right now, somebody ate their Subway sandwich. Somebody said, you know what, I only got enough money to sit up here and pay for this Subway sandwich. I ain't getting no chips and I'm gonna drink, cause girl, y'all be saying $5 foot long, but then once y'all adding on this extra stuff, it be ending up $10. No ma'am, I ain't doing it. So I'm excited today, girl. I ain't getting no check, honey. Miss Google playing with us, girl. They say, okay, we're gonna send you the check, sis, but it ain't gonna process till Monday, so I'm gonna have to around here swipe on credit. Can you run this as a credit? Okay, yeah. Oh, it's not taking it. That's okay, I got another card. That one ain't working too. Well, you know what? I ain't hungry no way. I got some food I can go read here at the house. That's the type of mood I'm gonna serve y'all today. But other than that, I'm in a better space than I was last week. I know I talked to you all a little bit on Wasted Wednesday about depression, anxiety, and all of that. It was just last weekend was a troubling weekend for me. It was a lot going on mentally, and I just needed a space to just stay to myself. So I'm feeling it. It's a lot of things to talk about. We got Usher going on. We got Tyga going on. We got what? It's just a bunch of stuff. OJ about to get out of jail, girl, and I'm wondering, is he about to knock on Jay-Z's door? Like, what you say? You ain't black, you OJ. Okay, but let's go get into it. Kevin Hart, child, your credit is bad when it comes to being married. And the kids say, if you cheated once, you'll cheat it again. So you know Kevin Hart has been buzzing all on social media from that video of him sitting in a car and he was speaking to some woman. I don't remember her name. It really doesn't even matter because everybody thought that Kevin Hart was in there probably smooching on her and kissing her and all that type of stuff. And I was just like, when I watched the video and they zoomed in, I didn't get that Kevin Hart was kissing her. I didn't see that at all. But I saw the video and I was like, this doesn't look appropriate. And considering that Kevin Hart's credit is bad when it comes to, you know, women and him being in a relationship with a woman and married, and his first wife, you know, his first marriage went to crap because of him, you know, cheating and not being faithful and stuff. It kind of gave you that. So it's just like, it's amazing how, you know, your actions and stuff you've done makes you look when you do certain things. And it might not have meant anything, but Kevin Hart, you are not allowed that no more, girl. You approve with conditions. So you can't sit in the car by yourself with a woman or nothing like that. You can't do that. You got to make sure that it's very professional at all times. And it sucks, but these are the cards you've been dealt because, you know, girl, them the ones that you dealt yourself. Obviously, since you cheated on your first wife. People were going in on him. They were dragging, they were saying, Kevin Hart, you know, I'm not surprised, girl, you cheated on your wife. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I do believe a little bit if a person cheats, I think they can learn. But you have to pay attention, one time, what George would say, once you do shame on me, to it, you know, shame on me, you can't fool me again. Yeah, that type of stuff. But I feel like Kevin Hart didn't mean any harm. I'm not the biggest Kevin Hart fan, y'all know that. But honestly, I don't think Kevin Hart was doing anything inappropriate. But I will say that the optics of it looked horrible. And it didn't look like something that if his wife walked up to him, that she would be okay with seeing. Like, it just did not look good. It gives me that same thing that Peter went through, Cynthia Bailey's ex-husband, when he was rubbing and caressing that woman. You know, it was just inappropriate. It's something like if you see your wife or your significant other, your husband, it's like, oh, like that type of stuff. So Kevin Hart, I don't think you did anything inappropriate, but it just looked bad, and it looked bad on you considering your track record. So you gotta get that together. They were ready to go in on you, Kevin Hart. They was ready to knock if you buck and drag you, okay? And you got a lot of things going on. You about to trash the hell out of Jumanji. So you got other things to be trashing instead of another marriage. You all see Joseline Hernandez on The Breakfast Club. I'm gonna put it up on kingeries.com. Joseline was on The Breakfast Club and she, you know, she gave us some good energy. She really let us know that she has grown since the last time she was on The Breakfast Club. Because the last time she was on The Breakfast Club, you know what, honestly, Joseline and Charlamagne have grown since then, because I think Charlamagne was very transphobic when he was talking to Joseline, you know, when she was on there, and he was, you know, asking her was she a transsexual and all that type of stuff. He wasn't using that word, but he was just saying she's like a man. He made some of those jokes, but it was better. It was like a little bit better. It wasn't like calling her tranny and all that type of stuff, because we don't say that word. I don't want to hear anybody say that word. I actually heard, you know, somebody said the other night, and I saw somebody say it on Twitter, and I just don't like that word. I just like, let's work on ourselves, let's educate ourselves. Like, and I talked to one of my friend guys the other day, and I love him much, but he was saying, I feel like everything is just so, everything has to be politically correct. This is not politically correct. This is how I feel. I don't want anybody to say anything to make somebody feel some type of way. I don't want anybody to sit up here and make a person feel like crap. Now, I know I do drag, folks, but I'm learning as I go. Like I used to say, I used to be fat phobic, I guess, and considering that I'm a bigger guy, I was like, girl, I can't be talking like that. And I've said, you know, trash things about, you know, trans people too. I think I might have, but it's learning. It's not about being politically correct. It's about respecting other people in their spaces and who they are as human beings. It's very important, and you're never too old or too young to learn from that. You know, I'm so thankful for the people who watch me and subscribe to me and, you know, educate me, and the friends I'm surrounded with, you know, tell me, like, Justin, you know, work on that, because I educate myself all the time. When I'm walking and doing stuff, I'm like, you know, when I'm saying things, I'm reacting to some things, I'm like, you know, that's not cute. I don't want anybody to say anything similar to that to me, so I can't do that. Back on my story, I forgot what I was even talking about. But Joseline did that interview with the Breakfast Club. She just, you know, talked, you know, he asked her about her drug usage, and she said, you know, I've done some stuff, but she never did say if she done, you know, coke. Now, Joseline, girl, that video you going off and said, I wanna be a cop. Girl, you were high as a kite, girl. You were, take me higher. Girl, you better say, somebody get you higher. That's what you, hey, girl, you were high. Joseline, you were high, girl. You ain't telling me nothing about that, girl. You were high, and it's okay, sis. Charlamagne said, you know, he has experienced Pepsi in a blunt before, and you know, and they said that you can smell it. I've never been in that space before. That's some drug I ain't interested in, girl. I took one weed brownie. It was a weed cookie. Oh, girl, she almost killed me. I had one cookie, okay? And child, that thing took me to another level. I felt like I was alpha and omega. Do you hear me? I think I talked about it on the podcast with me and Adrian D when we talked about Dear White People. No, it wasn't Dear White People. It was are white people vampires and stuff. So, child, I was high as a kite. So that's a whole nother story. I might even do a story time on that if story times aren't dead yet. But you know, Joseline, she gave her all. She talked about, you know, her beef with Mona Scott. Listening to Joseline talk, I feel like it might be a setup, y'all. It might be a setup a little bit on her getting on Love and Hip Hop Miami. Like, I just don't believe that they let Joseline go. Joseline is TV gold. Like, she really looked good and did good while she was on The Real. Despite what K. Michelle said, you know, about what she did and stuff, like, she was on it. Like, when Joseline was on The Real, I was interested. And you know that you know, The Real has lost their loud drag queen, Tamar, and she made the show sometimes. You know, a lot of folks say that she made the show all the time. I didn't watch The Real. I didn't watch it for Tamar, and I did not watch it any other time. So, you know, Joseline, when she was on there, I was interested in watching it for those 10-15 minutes. I mean, I just don't even watch TV like that. I just really don't. Matter of fact, today was the first time that I actually listened to a podcast today. And I listened to a podcast, and I was like, okay. My girl Shar has a podcast called Kiss and Tell Radio. Look it up, search it up on Apple Podcasts. I listened to it, and it's her and two other guys, and it was just educational. I was like, okay, and it was funny, and you can tell that everybody wasn't on the same page. Like, everybody wasn't agree. Like, we disagreed on this, and we talked about that. I loved it. I was like, okay. So when I got through listening to Shar's podcast, I listened to The Read. Now, everybody knows that The Read is the most sickening podcast for people of color, for black people, period. The Read is everything. Everybody listen to it. But I've never wanted to just listen to The Read like that, because I was like, I want to work on my podcast, and I don't want to seem like I'm taking anything from them. And that's the main reason. Same thing with YouTube. I don't watch a lot of YouTubers who do what I do. I watch folks who do other things, because I don't want to feel like I'm taking from them, or, you know, I'm copying them. I just don't. I've never been like that. I've been doing that for a long time. So I listened to The Read too, and I was like, okay, this is cute. This is cute. Crystals and Kid Fury are everything. The images just flows really well. So while listening to The Read, I was like, you know, taking notes. I was like, okay, this is some stuff that I can work on, you know, when I'm doing podcasts. And like, their stuff is like, it's flowing really well. And we've been told that our stuff flows well too, but I was just like, okay, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm like it. So, you know, shout out to the Reed, shout out to everybody that's out here, black people who's doing entertainment stuff, period. I love y'all. But we gonna hop back into the tea because the Breakfast Club did some sickening interviews this week. They did one with Tyga as well, and they, you know, kind of talked about the whole situation with R. Kelly. It was like, you know, were you kind of R. Kelly girls because you saw Kylie, and it seems like that you kind of, you know, you went out there and she was underage. So the way that Tyga kind of said it a little bit was like that he, you know, saw something in her and he wanted to groom her or something. He saw the potential in her. I was like, oh my gosh, girl, you are worse than a predatory lender. Like, it was, I was like, Tyga, that ain't cute, sis. That ain't cute at all. I mean, it just goes to show you the mindset of people who, some of the mindset of people who do date folks who are younger. They want to groom them and get them together. Like, I was just like, girl, that don't sound like it's safe, sis. But the Breakfast Club was putting out content this week. Do you hear me? Shout out to them because I know there's some work doing there. Ooh, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay, OJ got the juice and they about to let him loose. He's in talks with Mona Scott to create a show. No, I'm just playing. So OJ had a, I think what's some trial hearing about him, you know, getting released early. Like, girl, y'all need to let me out, honey. Let me out. I don't know what it is. Well, I don't even know what it's called. But he, I don't bond or bail, whatever it is, girl. I've not been locked up, so thankfully, so I don't have to. I don't know any of those terms. But a lot of folks were upset. Some folks were like glad for him, and I think people didn't know how to separate, you know, him, you know, with that murder case that he had several years ago. They were trying to put him on trial for that, and that's not how it works. Like, he went to jail 9 years ago, and it's hard to believe it's been 9 years. We're stealing some stuff that belonged to him. But, you know, the folks were auctioning it off, and so I'm just like, I don't know how to feel about OJ. I really don't care. I honestly just don't care about OJ like that. I don't care about OJ Simpson. Is that hard to believe? I really don't like to talk about him. I don't have anything against him, but he's like nobody to really talk about. So why are we talking about him? So let's talk about some real stuff. Oh my gosh. Everybody has something to say about Usher and his whole ordeal, his $1 million issue. When I tell you the jokes, the STIs, the STD jokes, the herpes jokes, they were all over social media. Everybody was making fun of it. People were making HIV positive jokes. People were making jokes about him and Magic Johnson. Yeah, and it was a lot going on. So Usher has paid a woman that he has gave an STD to, and that's herpes, $1 million. Like, he paid her for the issue or whatever. And it's so difficult talking about because sex is still taboo in 2017. And even when you talk about sex as being taboo, you talk about the things that we do with sex, the stuff that comes with it. You know, some of the risks that comes with having sex. There's always risks, no matter if you're having protected sex or unprotected sex. It's a risk, period. So it kind of started a conversation, and I was a little disappointed at a lot of things that were saying. A lot of people were making jokes and stigmatizing jokes about herpes and this, and herpes is nothing to play with, it's serious, but a lot of us have it. A lot of us Americans have it. I forgot the percentage of us have it. And it's kind of like a common thing, but you know, there are levels to it. And considering that there's so much stigma when even going to the doctor, the stigma when going to the clinic, it's so much stigma. It's like we love to talk about it, we love to joke about it, but then when it's actually time to have a serious conversation about it, and the fact that people don't even get tested for it every 6 months, and people don't even get tested for that matter, don't even get tested for that. Most people are just getting tested for HIV, they're not getting tested for gonorrhea, syphilis, HIV, it's all types of stuff, like chlamydia. There's all types of stuff that people are not being tested for regularly. And being a black gay man, we have to get tested more for stuff than, you know, the average folks. Like, we have to get tested more. And you know, and thankfully for, you know, for some of us who have a gay doctor who says, you know, who knows how we have sex, like, get tested for this, let me swab your booty cheeks, let me swab up in here because this is how you have sex, you have anal sex, I need to check that out, I need to check, and there's nothing wrong with it. Get tested, check yourself out, it's okay. Testing is, like, I want to talk about, it's the same, it's so much stigma with getting tested and all this type of stuff and knowing your status. It's the same thing as your credit. You won't know nothing until if you don't know anything, you're not going to be able to fix anything. So if you're not looking at your credit, you can't fix it. If you're not looking at your test results and getting tested on regular, you can't fix it. So it's gonna keep going on just because you ain't opened it. Doesn't mean it's going away, sis. So you have to kind of work on that. I think about sex, I think there are two people who are in charge. They're both partners who are having sex. You need to know what you're getting to. You never put your sexual health in somebody else's lap, period. And I know that sounds like, oh, Joseline, we want to hear the jokes, we want to laugh and stuff, but it's a serious issue, okay, my Joseline boys? And I don't want anybody who's paying attention to me to be around here giving somebody your health. I don't want you to give your health to somebody else. I want you to take, control of your health and make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. And that's not just, knowing your sexual partner, but it's just like, hey, I don't know this person, this is kind of like a last minute type of thing. Let me use some extra precautions. Let me use protection. Let me do some stuff. It's not necessary just putting on a condom, using a insertive condom. It's about conversations, changing behaviors. It's so much, and that's why conversations like this are important, and why I have created, and several of my friends have created From Top to Bottom, discussion about sexual health, pertaining to black gay men, predominantly, like with just black gay men, but I think so many other people can pay attention to it as well. Usher, like some people saying Usher should have told this, young lady what he had going on, and he should have told her. And yeah, he should have, but you can't expect folks to do things. You just can't. So you can be mad, like you should have did that, but at the end you should have took care of your own business to make sure you know who you're laying with. Now Usher, considering how much money you have and how much access you have to resources, you should have been able to, you should have been getting tested regularly. You should have been on your stuff. Like, that doesn't make any sense, Usher. Like, we like to joke and make jokes about stuff like that, even though we all out here having sex. I mean, girl, they talking about a new gonorrhea out here that people, having oral sex need to be getting tested. They need to swab their throats. It's important. It's even important for women who are having sex. Like, women have to do so much when it comes to, checking them up in their vaginas and stuff. I'd be scared to say vagina. I'd be scared to say pussy, to be honest. But it's very important. And I think about me and Adrian talked about this on a later episode of For the Culture podcast. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. Y'all are supporting For the Culture podcast. We can't talk about that for a second. Can I preach to you? We started out, I think, getting like 500 or so listens per episode. Now we're getting consistently 3,000 listens. Sometimes we're touching 4. So, we're getting to 4,000 listens per episode, and we're doing it every 2 weeks. And we just appreciate y'all being so supportive of something that we're trying to grow and something we're trying to take to the next level. It's so important. It's a work. Consider me and Adrian don't stay in the same state or in the same city. So it takes a lot of work. So I appreciate y'all for supporting For the Culture podcast. And make sure y'all emailing us for, doing For the Culture segment. And we answer your questions, and we give you advice, or you give us advice, anything, and you can send that to Justin at For the Culture Podcast or Adrian at fortheculturepodcast.com. But Usher, girl, you need to get your stuff together. I'm pretty sure you are trying to get it together, but that don't make no sense. But people in Hollywood, I'm pretty sure Usher is not the only person in Hollywood dealing with that. I hope he's getting the treatment. I hope he's taking care of what he needs to be doing. But I know I'm going to be working on a blog post about the stigma that comes around us, making fun of Usher like that. Stigmatizing jokes about Usher and this whole situation makes people not want to disclose that they're, that they have an STI or STDs, or it makes people not even want to pay attention to the signs of a person having an STD or an STI. And it's important. I'm trying to ramble my boys up to do a video on it sometime this week about that whole Usher situation, so we can learn. Cause I got a lot of people who work in the field in sexual health, so I think it's important for me to give that to you all so we can talk about that and you can answer some questions. And if you have any questions about sexual health, email me at justin@kingareeds.com. I enjoyed this little segment. This was cute. I got some other things I want to talk about. This video will be about pretty privilege and the how some of us deal with it. It's a lot, because I think I talked about it a little bit on Wasted Wednesday. If you didn't pay attention to Wasted Wednesday, you need to be ready for it. What else was going on social media? Oh, Remy was getting dealt with a little bit about her, flying coach, her and her husband flying coach to whatever destination, and some guy, I think his name was Sir Mix-a-Lot, I don't know, I'm being funny. And he was saying that y'all favorite rapper, female rap artist, is flying coach, and I just didn't see the issue with that. I didn't see why that was funny. And then they come to find out, they said he worked for Forever 21 and make $8 an hour, and somebody said that, girl, you need to go clean up fitting room too. There's nothing wrong with working at Forever 21. There's nothing wrong with you know, you getting paid $8 an hour. It's nothing wrong with you flying coach. There's nothing wrong with you working a job to pay your bills, and there's nothing wrong with you saving some money. Like, we have to get out of that level of thinking. That's what capitalism has taught us. Spend, 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 spend. Save when you can and put up so you can sit up here and be okay during the winter, because winter is coming and she's gonna be back Sunday. Okay, she was already here this Sunday because that Game of Thrones, episode was cute. But we gotta get out of that level of thinking and mindset of thinking that spend, 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 spend. Sometimes sit your butt down. Weekend, like, rest your body, rest your mind, rest your spirit, and rest your checking account. You don't have to go out every weekend. You don't have to go out every night to sit up here and enjoy yourself. Find other ways to save you money and be financially responsible with your coins, because you never know when a storm is coming, and things always come, you know, out of nowhere. I'm dealing with an issue financially right now. Like, right now, it's like serious for me, but I'm trying to, like, I'm making it through, and I'll talk about that in my depression a little bit. Sometime in the near future, I'm gonna talk about that, but it's important that we have these conversations. Like, it's important to me, and whenever I talk to y'all, especially on Wasted Wednesday, y'all make me feel so good, so I love y'all. Make sure you check out ForTheCulturePodcast.com, and also make sure you check out KingofReach.com. And thank you! Sean Spicer has finally quit. Sean Spicer finally resigned, and he said he I had enough. This is coming off of Trump naming this New York financier as a director of communications. And Sean Spicer said, I'm not gonna be working under him. That's just not gonna happen. So Sean Spicer then quit. He lasted 6 months, child. He walked in front of that podium and told us it was 2 million people at the inauguration for Trump. And knowing that was a lie, it was barely like 400,000 folks there. That happened. He finally quit. The White House is in shambles, girl. They can't seem to get it together. They can't get a healthcare. They don't even know which healthcare bill to even put up for a vote. Y'all are trash. Trump that had a conversation with Putin that he don't even want us to know about. I'm drip, 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 drip. And Jeff Sessions, you are trash, and that man dragged you and said he don't know if he gonna fire you or not. And you was his biggest supporter. You supported him before anybody else. You were the first senator to support him, Jeff Sessions. And he don't care about you. He's not loyal to the first person that was loyal to him. But what do you think he cares about America? That's all I got. Y'all tell me what y'all think about all this. Tell me what y'all think about Remy Papoose saving money and flying on coach. Tell me what y'all think about Jeff Sessions being trash. Let me also know what y'all think about me and Adrian doing a sex podcast for 1 episode. I love y'all. Y'all have a good afternoon, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.